Hey, what's up? We're in the next part. I took a break in the middle to make tea. And in the middle of that break, I just got so sad because of what under heaven is going on over here. But whatever, let's carry on talking, shall we? Yes, the last part, please go check it out to gauge your bearings. I ended with basically describing like some hard knock nefarious satanic organization and the role of women in it. Now yes, I basically made it clear that there are women that have been earmarked to grow and grow and grow, but every other woman you're going to observe them just butting heads, struggling really to get their day in court. Another thing that I need to highlight over here is that it is not every woman that is being allowed to grow that belongs to a satanic organization. At the end of the day, God's common grace is applicable across the board. And if the Lord wants to use a person for a particular purpose, if they gotta grow, they gotta grow, they gotta grow. So whatever's going on with me, do not look at me as a victim of the occult. Look at me as a vessel of God. He saw it fit to put me in this position. I also need to put this out there. It is not every woman that is into occult magic that belongs to the secret society. A lot of them are amateurs, but this secret society, it relies on the fact that so many other people are dabbling. The occult works that way. It needs each other. They need each other because the power of God and in disciples and the common grace of God over the earth is all consuming. He is powerful. The power of God is powerful. And the earth currently in this state prior to the tribulation is being restrained from doing the most. People on it are being restrained from doing the most. So this is not going to be the occult. They need basically all the help they can get. That's what I'm trying to get at. They need all the help they can get. And so it's like the devil is raising up an army to get as many people on his side as possible, because frankly God is hard to conquer. No, correction, he's impossible to conquer, but according to the devil he is hard to conquer, because literally disciples of the devil thoroughly believe that it is possible to conquer the world, to conquer the church. They believe that it is possible. It is grandship the reason why even the battle of Armageddon happens. How literally a 200 million strong army gathers against heaven, trying to take it down. The fact that the devil even rose up in his own pants to try and coup God in heaven evidences that he is a very naive being that constantly is of the imagination that one day, maybe just literally just one day, I might prosper to bring this being low. The human race that follows after this naive being are in and of themselves extremely naive. So they believe that if insofar as they can gather in extreme numbers against the church and just the rest of the world that is not involved in the occult, they'll be good. However, there is a very thwarting influence from the body of Christ. However few of us there may be, we literally usually for the better part of the time make up just a remnant. Narrow is the road that leads to life that few people find. So we're not many, but despite our small little number, some of us even being isolated, scattered across the world, living at the backs of their mothers' houses in shacks, we are cataclysmic in the worst way to the occult. Therefore, recruitment into these organizations is a real and thriving strategy. Man, oh man, do they grow in numbers. And just as with any secret society, just as with any grandship organization, there usually are low-level employees that have no idea, frankly, what the company general strategy is. They do not know what the company is trying to do. Take, for instance, I lost that content because my phone fell and I lost the ish, whatever, man. Let's just, what was I gonna say? God, please bring it back to me. Ish. Yes, I was talking about an organization, any company, just generally, its whole thing that it's doing, its structure, how it tends to operate. Take, for instance, like the janitorial staff, the cleaning staff in a company. A lot of time they don't even know that what the company strategy is, what the return on investment is, what the books say, what they're trying to do, what the product suite that is earmarked for delivery in like Q2 of this year is going to be. They have no idea, but they are adding to this company's general overall like prosperity. Some people working in the mail room don't even know what last year's numbers look like, what they reflect, how well the company is doing. Some people working in the call center have no clue under heaven even who the operations manager is. They're just there to collect their salary and frankly they're moving on. However, they are contributing to this whole thing. thing. But there are executives, CEOs. There are what is this, like middle management, upper middle management, people who it is their job to know basically where the company needs to go from place to place to place to place. Just as with any company of that nature, so too do occult organizations operate that way. Again, never mind the janitorial stuff, but for instance, if you think about, let me use, not clothing brands, that too, but I wanted to say cosmetics brands. Cosmetics brands, a lot of them have got marketing girls that they hire from universities to send out pamphlets in their varsities. Women, girls of which have no idea what the company strategy is and what they're trying to do, what their general goal for next year is. They've also got, if you, for instance, work go Edgase, you will find yourself in the makeup kiosk component of your company. But the makeup kiosk that you are working for is for Revlon as opposed to Estee Lauder or whatever. And so therefore you have no idea what the actual company that is Estee Lauder is trying to do. However, Estee Lauder is paired with Edgar's. Estee Lauder is paired with Edgar's. That's the company you work for. The company strategy of Edgar's, you may or may not know it given how low level you are, but you do not know the company strategy of Estee Lauder that is paired or partnered with Edgar's. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, similarly too with sponsorship deals or affiliation deals, where they go and they grab social media influencers on YouTube because they've got 500,000 subscribers to talk about their product. This particular content creator has no idea what Nike's strategy for next year is. They don't know what Chanel's strategy is. They don't know what Pick and Pay's strategy is. They have no idea, but they've been recruited by Pick and Pay, by Nike, you get my point, in order to cause sales to be driven for that particular company. Unbeknownst to yourself as to what under heaven the company overall is trying to achieve, you nonetheless get recruited because you've got 500,000 subscribers. You are pontificating an ideology you have no idea what it's about. Occult nefarious organizations of this nature work that way. So they are in the business of recruiting all the way like up to the highest levels that know exactly what's going on, and then also down into the dregs of society that don't know what's going on, but really I'm trying to make a quick buck. I'm a university student that wants to make 500 rands real cheaply, real quick over a weekend gig. So frankly, angnandaba uguti ilontuza Stuyvesant what it's doing. I don't care what Miller alcohol brand is doing, or Hansa or Casele or Amstel or Heineken. I don't care what Nike's doing. I don't care what Revlon or Maybelline is doing. I am just going to get myself a good, just an easy $500 for standing for 1 hour at some street corner handing out these things. And so really, I'll take it. I don't care. Well, ill-gotten gain is mankind's favorite thing out here in these streets when they do not know the Lord. So witchcraft, recruitment into the occult is easy. It is easy. All you gotta do is basically tap into a person's desire, find out what under heaven it is that is their longing, and then tell them you can get it like nice and easy, instant gratification vibes. Do you understand what I'm saying? It is written in God's word that desire, when it is conceived, brings about sin. Sin, when it is fully grown, brings about death. So the very end of this thing is basically annihilation. However, in the run-up to your extinction, you will, literally in pursuing your desire, sin. So you get told, you want a job, you've been struggling, you've been praying for a minute for it. Well, I know a guy who knows another guy that knows yet another guy. And this other guy, you go and you see him, and lo and behold, in 2 weeks, you get a job interview. In 3 weeks, you are starting your first job. Yeah. And then there is greed that comes in, rapacity. There is addiction to the occult. You get your first job through this strange thing, and you're like, oh my goodness, what else, I wonder, can I possibly do using this? You recognize in your silly little frantic heart that is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked, that you envy the living daylights out of your best friend. So you want your best friend to just kind of struggle to find a husband, or to struggle to get promoted in the job, or to fail the job interview that you might come out tops ahead of her. And lo and behold, since you got a job yesterday using witchcraft, now you are going to take the hairs off your girlfriend's head, plucking them one by one, graying her as you go along, that you might be the only one with a crown of glory that is still jet black. That's how recruitment into the occult works, and they rely on the fact that literally it is so successfully proliferated by word of mouth. So the girl that works for Edgar's, outside handing out pamphlets to Estee Lauder. Gets $250 for hanging out for just like 25 minutes outside of some door. Yeah, okay, very well. And then she goes back to university campus on Monday and buys all of her girls slushies, buys all of her girls burgers stuck with steers. And the friends are like, "Jo, did your mother increase your allowance?" And the girl is like, "No, sister. Over the weekend when I was at the taxi rank at Bree, some chick gave me some little business card, said I must call because Estee Lauder is looking for like marketing girls." So I was like, let me call. I called, and next thing I was standing outside of the door handing out random stuff, and I got $250 for just kind of doing that for like a day. And they're like, "Oh girl, can you give me the number of that lady?" "Oh yeah, sure. No, I don't know. Like if at all they still need ladies, but I guess you can call them. Kia number 083222, etc." And then she calls the girl, and next thing there's like 5 friends from the same crew of girlfriend out here in these streets sending out pamphlets outside of Willie's for Estee Lauder. Yeah, exactly. Works just like that for in the occult. Unbeknownst to yourself as to what's going on, you be out here struggling to get a job, and your friend is like, Yazi, I also had an issue, really frankly was making me itch, and since I don't like scratching myself, I was told by this one girl that she visited this one mom gog dude like lady person, and I went and I saw her, and lo and behold, 3 weeks later I got a job interview, and look at me kicking it, killing it, proper, about to bite my first cum. And she's like, "Yo, Mganwam, give me the number of Gox Ban Ban." And then she goes to Gox Ban Ban, and it happens for her too, and so on and so forth. That is how the kingdom of darkness thrives. You don't have any idea under heaven that Estee Lauder has got a strategy to basically sell 500,000 units of lipstick in 5 hours. What you know is that you have just gotten 250 easy bucks for standing at the door. Lo and behold, you do not know that there is a strategy, a satanic one in South Africa, to choke hold women into a domesticated state, or else you will die by some nefarious men, black, I will put that out there, that are sick and tired of watching black girls grow fast up the corporate ladder looking like weeds at their expense because they end up looking like tiny little baby boys. But what you do know is that you're a girl that is out there in these streets pulling out, plucking like it is your eyebrows, your girl's entire future from the South African economy, helping some silly little Jabu, some silly little Zwandile, some silly little Zondo, like some silly little boy that belongs to a secret society that really has it in bad for some females out here in these streets. Next thing, your best friend Pinky has passed away because Obulailwe get Jabu. And you're like, but how did that happen? Well, Pinky, despite the fact that Jabu wanted her to be a stay-at-home mom, literally could not take it, because what am I doing at home with an engineering degree? And just as they're having an argument, oh my goodness, look at that knife being driven into the heart of Pinky literally 25 times. And you're like, oh, Pinky's gone, hashtag GBV, hashtag am I next? What in the world? How is this the thing? Except you introduced Pinky to the occult. No, sorry, you, and yes, that too, but you bewitched Pinky to lose her job, right? Such that Jabu now felt like, I'm a baby, I'll take care of you. And now Pinky is frantically searching for a job, trying to see what job what new venture she can embark on. Jabu gets irritated. They have a fight. He's like, but I'm gonna take care of you. She's like, but I don't want you to take care of me. I want my own job. And besides, you're not strong enough, blah, blah. She then starts to emasculate him, blah, blah. And then long story short, a dude now is like, boo, she ran into my knife 10 times. Lena Mubinela cell block tango. But you're the one that bewitched Pinky's career so she would struggle to get a job, and you have no idea under heaven that you have been literally indirectly responsible for the death of your friend, because you got recruited into a satanic organization unbeknownst to yourself, since you were in the call center or just some marketing girl handing out pamphlets outside of some company, and then you went to school the next day. Got yourself like a nice little easy $500. Yeah, that's what's good. The occult operates exactly like that. They have a web. In my dream, that moved on from these women, right? I then found myself in front of some boardroom in Libana, and they were busy grunting, chanting, looking like they're doing some kind of a satanic ritual. In this meeting, there were no women at all. At all. They were basically not allowed. I told you that there was also like a TV executive that was among the men in that state, so therefore this agenda is also being proliferated on television. They're the ones that know. The men huddled together as to what the strategy over the country is, but the women they hired here, including the ones that were executives in the typing room, don't really know what grandshap is actually being done against women in totality. I told you guys that they had a network, a web, where, like, for instance, provincially, the main leader, head honcho people were in this main meeting, but they would then go back to their provinces and effect this strategy. They would then go back to where it is that they are located geographically, where they stay, and they would effect this strategy. To effect a company strategy, here it is that you've got this bright idea to do an ABC by DEF date. Okay, well, you're gonna need to hire random, like, people on the street to sweep the floors of your company. You're going to need typists. You are going to need call center agents, switchboard consultants. You are going to need project managers. You're going to need business analysts. You are going to need systems developers. You're going to need legal and regulatory people for your law department. You're going to need this. You're going to need finance modelers, financial modelers. You're going to need etc. So you just go on a recruitment drive, and depending on the rank, you then set salaries. Depending on what you're trying to do, you then give information, right? Certain levels just don't know jack about what's going on in the organization. However, there are certain levels that have some idea as to what's going on. And then there are people who are literally in the complete clear as to what's going on here. Well, just as the marketing executive, the finance executive, and the I don't know, give me another department with the operations executive know what the CEO is thinking and what he's trying to do, rarely ever will the call center agent know exactly what's going on. And sometimes the PM, the project manager, might be in the dark. All that the project manager is focusing on are her projects and what they're trying to do, but as for what they mean for the bigger picture, she might be too lazy to try and find out. Snoozes even in the company roadshow where they're explaining company strategy, because frankly, I don't care. I just want to deliver my projects. So depending on how high up it is that they are, they will then know exactly what's going on, or have pieces of information, or not know anything at all, or be ignorant, or not care what is being done. Insofar as I get my own, much like the project manager gathering a salary, and she could not care less how the company does. She is not loyal to the company, she's loyal to only her bank account. Yeah, you get people like those. There are human beings that just out in these streets want to get just want to get like, hey, I want a job, or I want to succeed. I want to be the best out of all of my girls. I want that guy. I'm in love. I like proper. That's all they want. They're selfish. They're greedy. They're not thinking about the bigger picture. And so for them, what's going on, I don't care insofar as I get my own. There are others who are aware more or less of what's going on, and again, frankly, could not care less because they're getting their own. And then there are those who are invested in making sure that this happens based on a strategy that they were very keenly aware of. So the women in my dream that were in the typing room are ones that are aware of what's going on, and all they're thinking is, I don't care, I just want my own. However, I have pieces of information as to what the strategy is. We are going to mow women to the ground, but at least I'm chosen to not suffer. Yeah, like, you know, selfish, the bigger picture, like proper. Telling yourself that you are going to be given a ticket into an underground bunker in the middle of when a nuclear explosion hits your city, and you don't take into consideration that literally an entire future has been taken from a city that you live in, and you're gonna have to be squeezed up in a freaking bunker for 10 years of your life, inhaling other people's carbon dioxide, bumping your shoulders next to human beings, having absolutely no space to yourself, and only later on, when everything has fallen apart and you're the only one that is comfortable, do you then regret not being able to walk outside in the trees, not being able to sit at the park, you know, have some cheese and crackers, not being able to just go to the mall, not being able to watch kids playing in the street. Yeah, that's what's good. You're going to then start to miss basically a better South freaking Africa. You're going to miss the days when you could laugh, when you could toast, when you could cheers, when you could break bread, when everybody was having fun, when everybody was kicking it, killing it, when everybody was ambitious and everybody was helping everybody along, when everybody was partying, dancing, clubbing, when everybody was still good, everyone was still growing up, everybody was studying, and ama past papers at university as you're crunching, trying to pass, like get 50% and just barely make it for accounting 101. You're gonna miss better days, sweeter times, when the world literally had not been decimated and you got to be the only one going in an underground bunker. There are a whole bunch of people that literally have got no friends left that they grew up with. What kind of rubbish is that? They have got no friends that they grew up with because they decimated them. All the people that are in your inner circle, none of them saw you wapere bonga ko swimming poolung. As we when you jumped into the swimming pool and you were embarrassed and everybody saw your panty floating. None of the people that with whom you experienced those memories, that embarrassing time when you went to a public swimming pool and your underwear came off because they live bonga. Where are they? And all of them, you also are competing with them. The girls with whom you went to high school and you laughed, you cracked jokes, you pulled stunts, you pranked teachers. Y'all can't reminisce on that anymore. When you think about those memories, instead of it being good old-fashioned days and you laugh about it, like literally laughing until tears come out, now you are crying for real. Like as in, it is painful because memories of your youth are shattered by the crimes you committed in your ambitions to acquire very much in this world. I personally have none of my friends from back in the day left. That do you tlhaloganya? None of my girls, kaofela, betrayal, stab a sister in the back, none of them are in my life. They didn't all use witchcraft on me, but they all participated in the mutiny in my life, either by omission or commission. But like literally supporting gossip about a woman that yesterday was doing so freaking well. And now today, apparently, allegedly, she's lost her mind. You're not even trying to validate that. You didn't even lift the phone, like jealousy making you want to validate amanga. Partaking in gossip, some of them of which, actually went and bewitched my career. Never mind friends, family members, my cousins, where are they? They're having babies, karabos, does not know abantwana babo. No auntie karabo around anywhere to be found. People who do things like these can never be joyful in the future because they decimate their past. They literally put a crater in their past such that they can't reminisce about it. They make sure that they are like ones who are living in a war zone, that yesterday it was good, and then today, literally 25% of your countrymen have been killed, including some of your friends. So frankly, every memory of your youth is painful because some people are just not there anymore. That's what witchcraft does. So you get into your little underground bunker, your little diabolical version of Noah's Ark. And when you're there and it's getting dry and crusty because there's no fun anymore, then it gets real. But hey, by then, radiation is on the surface. Y'all can't get out for another 10 years. Dust has not yet settled. You're just gonna have to be like content with the fact that you're gonna spend another decade in a bunker away from normal existence because you chose this. But guess what? After that 10 years, you get to be the only one that's an executive in the family. You get to be the only one that married a man with whom you stayed married. You get to be the only one whose children attended university. You get to be the only one with a big house. You get to be, while everyone that you grew up with looks like a freaking loser. Everyone you grew up with looks like somebody that didn't quite make it in life. Kind of rubbish is that? No more reminiscing. All the memories of your teenage years when you're busy messing around with boys, you cannot talk about that without wanting to cry. Now you are at enmity with your cousin with whom you were close growing up with tight ninja. My goodness, she doesn't know your children. Are you for real? I can understand a friend not knowing your kids because friends grow apart, but this is blood. Your own sister is nowhere to be found in your milestones. You are the only one that is doing super well in your family, and yet your sister lives in a shack at the back of your mother's house. For real? That's what's going on. That's what we're doing here. No more ability to reminisce. And then there's the ex-boyfriends. Loyal girlfriend like no man's business. You're still in love with her, married to a woman you can't stand, and all you can think about is, I can think of better days when I had Karabobo. What you should have done is move on because y'all broke up, and if you move on, time heals all wounds. Meet another woman, fall in love, have them babies, and so you like, oh, there's this girl that I dated when I was like 25. And I remember, like, I wonder what's going on with her, but it's not a painful, sorrowful memory. When you refuse to let time heal your wounds and you use witchcraft to handle a person, you linger on them until you become a freaking stalker of them. And every time you see them doing anything normal, to a point where you can't concentrate on your own baby girl, can't concentrate on your own son's first milestone, you can't concentrate on your wife's third pregnancy, you can't focus because you're busy following your ex-girlfriend around like a freaking tail. Yeah, no, but before then, in the run-up to that moment, somebody walks up to you, gangster, and is like, I know how you can handle your girl. I know how you can handle your friend. I know how you can handle your sister, your cousin. I know how you can handle your colleague. And you're like, you know what? I've never liked her anyway. And you allow yourself to go and drop a bomb somewhere. Look at South Africa. We are grey listed. We are junk status. Our economy is decimated. Harena motlakasi. We do not have love, affection. Women are dying like no man's business, dropping like dominoes every single single freaking month. There is a devastating story of some women in a duffel bag whose body parts have been chopped by a boyfriend. Universities are teeming at the folds with kids who have not actually really passed high school but barely scraped through because they kept on reducing the pass mark. That is the country you have built for yourself. Corporate South Africa is teeming at the folds with like incompetent staff members that are tanking businesses. And so for those reasons, we are looking like a deadbeat country that does not have big minds. When South Africa produced Elon Musk, Charlize Theron, and Karabo Sangwan, Trevor Noah, a country with those kinds of brains, a country with that kind of talent is junk status. A country with that kind of talent is grey listed, does not have electricity, does not have like proper infrastructure, roads, there's a whole bunch of witchcraft all over the show. That is the country that you have built for yourself. But hey, you know what? I'm an executive and I'm the only one in my family. Is that basic? You have destroyed your own country. It's insufferable and barely recognizable. Y'all can't even be happy for your own family members. Y'all can't even be happy for your own friends. You can't be happy for anyone. You hate the youth because they still have hope. When you look at them, you see a fragment of what you used to be, because whatever you are today is a shadow of what you used to be. Your personality has completely changed. In the spiritual realm, you are an ugly menace in the spirit realm, to a point where everybody that still has any kind of glory in them, you can't stand them. You have got an occult puza face, because you are inebriated with demons. Your whole body, you cannot even be yourself. When you look at somebody that is in Christ, because the light coming out of them is too glaring. So then you bury them like Micaiah, making them eat meager portions of bread and water at the back of their mother's houses in a shack. For you cannot stand to glare at the sunny disposition of a woman that never touched witchcraft. She refused to dabble with that dark magic. These things that take wombs out of women, cause infertility, cause striving in a family, cause only one or two people to actually have a career in a family. Why does only one brother have a job? Why? But hey, you got to be the executive. You got to marry the guy while your friend stayed single. Prettier than you, smarter than you. Ought to have gotten lobola 1 million. Kanjan. Karabo. How in the world am I unmarried, unloved, no children? How in the world do I have a geriatric womb hitting 39 with nothing at all? I beg you, I implore you, go and look at my Facebook. You will see. It'll be in your face. All of them. I was tall, I looked like a model, I had the career, I had everything. Yeah, well, the one mowing you to the ground, the way I was so freaking fly in comparison to all of y'all. She is dying, gathering dust at the back of her mother's house, going nowhere. Anyway, but shady. People across the world be treating her like she ain't Jack. An ex-convict from the United States of America. Occult practitioners. Go fail! And it is obvious on Facebook, not just in my beauty. All of y'all! I was smarter than you all. I had the class, I had the beauty, I had the brains, I had the virtue. I was the full package. And now go fellow half-hearted women. Like little percentages of what I was. For real. And Kara was the one. Busy America. High and low. That is not in his league. An ex-convict. Busy one lawyer because I'm the only one. When I was the best one with kids for real, only one when I was the only one that was right or down, the only one that did not go out of her way. Girlfriends high school one. Super successful. All of y'all go high school I'm the only one that didn't touch any of you with witchcraft. And yet I'm the one that doesn't have friends here. I was the one that was loyal enough to literally dare not touch you with that rubbish. Electric chair. I'm living in Antarctic conditions. Don't nobody care about me. And yet I am apparently a waste of life. I am apparently a no-brainer, a loser, for real, a loser. A loser. Loser. Kannete. Is that what we're doing out here in these streets? Herein lies the deal. Obviously, the thing that you did to me, it was tactless in the worst way. Plus, it happened overnight. It wasn't even gradual. And there is nothing at all of me that suggested I had this coming. A very responsible woman, I was never the kind on Monday. I was never the kind of chick to not pitch to work because boyfriend all weekend long, painting the town red because we think we're Bonnie and Clyde, forgetting that I got a 9 to 5. No. I feel like one of y'all was like that. I'm not the one that went and gave some deadbeat dude a baby. At the back of his mama's house. No, I'm not that girl. I did not do that. It was you. And yet you're the one that's successful for real? I feel as if though it's obvious. I was the one with the big future in a very obvious way. And yet somehow, I am still. 2 feet. A person does not just fall standing, stable, on their 2 feet like a tree stump. No. Somebody chops them down. Somebody chops them down. And that is what happened, and it is so obvious. I don't even know how any of y'all can have a conversation in normal distance. I am nowhere to be found amidst you. I don't know. Mpinjeni yasesikolweni ihwe. Mpinjeni yasevasithi ihwe. Impinjeni menjava naye ukuphi. Uvela nyamalala bathu. Khakathlokafala, and yet I am in none of y'all's lives. It's like I have died. But I'm alive somewhere, and no nazi. I am as intelligent as I am, reaching as I am, yet I've got binary code for views on YouTube. Is that really what we're doing out here in these streets? Lipizi. And so like more Christian content all over the show from a whole bunch of lukewarm Christians in South Africa, speaking hollow note ash. And they've got hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Trying to reach people for Jesus, and she's not getting heard. I'm sorry, no. Manipulation. Situation obvious, man. It is obvious in the worst way. But hey, you got to be the one that is gloating a career. While Karabo is gathering dust at the back of a mama house going nowhere. And then, oh my goodness, like wow, the bravado, the arrogance, the pomp. You want me to go mina your meter. Give a man a baby, it's not anything. Give it and just like pompa malaka mpaka kangwana okay sa tlhogonong ho motlhokomela ke sna tšhelete and lean on a man when I am this like devastated, trodden, traumatized from GBV, and I gotta go give a man a baby before ke tswa mo ke lo krampa ke sa gone go ithekela ke le tissue oil ya go make sure ke cry di stretch maximum pain bathong nna ke mopila. I would like to keep my beauty for as long as possible. Ga go ibothofatsa ka ngwana ke sa gone lo bona gynecologist private ke nna ke lo bloma ke lo dula for hours on end ke imile 8 months ka ofela ko Helen Joseph ka net ko clinicing free ke sna medical aid langdella. I'm not that girl. That's what you did, cousin, last time I recall. Ungena medical aid, ungena mali wa your meter went and gave birth to your first girl. Go Joburg Jen. You did that. I'm not the kind of woman to be giving birth to my first baby in a public hospital that's gonna stitch up my vagina after I give birth and send me home on the same day because the hospital is overflowing with clients, with patients. No. I'm the kind of person obukelwang rumu in a private hospital, and yet y'all expect me to be giving birth to the baby of some deadbeat okie that I am haughty and lofty in comparison to. But hey, he found me in poverty, and so I guess he kind of fits the bill for now. Spiritual gifting, so I'm gonna be tormented for the rest of my marriage. This is America like no man's business. Ulada voodoo, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I gotta marry that guy, and then only I'll get a job. I'm sorry, what I'll do is die before that will happen. For to live is Christ, but to die is gain. Precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints. But you know what? That's not gonna happen, because first I'm going to get caught up in the sky to meet the Lord in the air, and then y'all gonna know what time it is. He did not leave me behind. What he did was leave you be, do you. Handed you over to your reprobate mind, send you a strong delusion that you may not believe indeed the truth, for you have not loved the truth but taken pleasure in your unrighteousness, got tossed to and from by every wind of doctrine, and so therefore the Lord allowed you to take heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of demons until you were so blind not even realizing it's the end of days. And the next thing, rapture. No snap, how to do that happen? Who'd have thunk it? Cause I'm like mzalwane. Unzo le busy loko babi ko kereken. Unzo gita ngaro muzioni vele isonto la mazioni isonto la magwala wake wa bona pindo tiso difeti nduku. Le busy mixing Christianity with ancestral worship just like my ZCC. Ebe rapture yebe ya tsagala Raymond's itletse packed to the brim. Yet the Christians are gone. How is a church still full of people on a Sunday morning at the rapture? Yeah, you're sitting at the pews, filling them up like a storm. What do you call it? Glass bubbling over. The Lord is going to set the record straight. He is going to rapture the church, and when he does, up and down if you're a Christian, busy ancestral worship man. Once and for all. Evangelical church or Protestant for what? Go to your little mixed churches, your little secret churches, where you also incorporate Sangoma. But how about you just admit to the why is joining ZCC once and for all? At least one admit or worship the ancestral mudim. Same time. If you use ZCC guys, it slays you. Why? Because at least by honest, ZCC. At least they are happy to admit that. So if you can join ZCC, sonto ya makwala wake waibona pindo tisondindungu emvuku ambani ngezo ZCC, so that my rapture iyenzakala kuzoba clear ukuthi nonke nizobe niselemva. Because if you can remark ZCC, if you can grace ki ZCC, etletse ka bazalwane ba loyang, bazalwane ba krang memereko go sa rapele Jesu mara ba rapela Satane because ba no consulta because they could not wait on the Lord ambani. So that when the rapture happens, you will be nicely placed and no one will be confused as to why you got left behind. But right now, wonke umuntu is going to be creasing their foreheads wondering, kaza di chicken uselele what? Krashap funukwas. Di chicken blometse mona that seeing as batung the trumpet blast and happened at Archangel Michael rose over and we rose to everlasting life, and there are others that rose to everlasting shame and contempt. Kota nangu lerato, kota nangu pinky, kota nangu Delilah, kota nangu momoza. Yeah, why are you still here, girl? Because you watching these streets professing Christ. Why are you still here? Exactly, one lawyer. Utubile matakwana other occult oseboto. In the occult, Granshapo got a piece or pusa face because you are demon possessed, and then you look at Karabo and you hope that no one is gonna see what's going on. The Lord is gonna set the record straight. You have messed up the country. Le etimudri sebato. Kako occult magic. You have made the land dizzy. You have caused a great amount of severe depression. South Africa has got the second highest suicide rate in the world, second to no one but Russia. You have made people kill themselves because abakono tola mesebetsi. Li tulisa bato kamabota. Li you have the brazen audacity. One of the biggest things that actually keeps strong no I'm left to tell the story. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm left to tell the story, and people gonna know la lawyer. I keep I just feel as if that needs to be converted into natinta umzalwane natinta umbokoto. You literally went on right ahead and poked a hornet's nest, and now you can't deal. And in the absence of the rapture happening, in all of your spite, guilty and uncomfortable, ashamed of yourself, however, still not admitting what you did, because how never under heaven would you ever confess never would you ever confess the most gorgeous girl in your midst. You gave me kudos, you gave me by simply bewitching me against each other, and then you confirmed I was the most glorious one among you. Because it's clear now. If I was insecure before, I ain't anymore. I guess I took a shame. Because I was so fly that you saw it from the radar of Banna. Or when I learned my girl, take your husband. Jesus and Mtate sisters. Sebototuwe, Mozai. Lebana ba unfortunately that got born like crack babies because during the time when you were pregnant or not lawyer. Eshem, Kaba Utwe, or Mudima Deliver. When I le bizwa manifesta go gerekeng, o recruiter into the occult na le 12 fela sa itse re great up again saying, kante the reason why ngwana batho antsa biza bitso ke satana sebelwa bosigo a robetsa sa tseboretsa lang is because mo teng na ntsa tsuba matakwana other occult ale pregnant. You be giving birth to crack babies. Unbeknownst to themselves, these poor kids, you subject them to futility because then they limitile because you are initiating babies in your bellies before they're even born. That's what you've done to the country. And all that Karabo can do is stand in the gap for a bunch of fools that refuse to confess and Yensing. And so you subjugate to the tyranny of growing up in a country that has none of the glory that it had when you were growing up. You are greedy, you are selfish. When you grew up in a beautiful, lovely country, but they don't know a South Africa that was better because you messed it up. You messed it up. You took away their opportunities. You raised them in an occult-ridden country and gave them an inevitable future of being initiated into the occult because it's what y'all do. How could you think you got it better than me because na le bana ba imile la batlisa mo lefatsheng just so they could end up in hell? It's written in God's word that it would be better for a millstone to be tied around your neck and be thrown in the ocean than for you to face God in the judgment because you caused kids to stray. My family members bana ba godileng ba sheba this nonsense, the way ba tellang ka teng today, the way they think of me like I can nobody. My goodness, they are literally sending their sons and daughters to the flames of hell. All I can do is wag my head mo ke dutseng teng. Habang bona fela a loser, not a person they should heed because I've got the words of life in my mouth. No, I want a loser. Why? Because you made me a loser. Akaze I'm not getting name sebenza kanjani in Corporate South Africa. Karabo sa bereki. Bana balona ba matriculate high school ba sebetsa before Karabo. Ke tlhalefile ga kana nna ke na mosebetsi. Ke filang ka lalo ya go tlie. Obvious. Mara no, because this thing is anonymous. Agbonagali crenshaw. Nyaphumelela nonsense and nonke mahlangene. Acting as if the Karabo you loser. I'm sorry, I just feel as if the good clear. It's clear. It's obvious in the worst way. Le jama mina, obvious. Let's wadi talk le robetse. Khaliti jeso mara le busy ka baby la gita. Kera keng le busy, my God is able to kwetela matho. You have even the brazen audacity of praiser o worship mazo ga le momoyeng. Another gang we reach hank. If you ke Satan ha go dimo gelo ko class. So you might as well just gravel on the floor like with the snake spirit on the floor, manifesting in the church because that's who you worship. The one who is on his belly right now eating dust. Le worship Satan ising modimo. So ke ka tlosa mazo ga gona la malo na ko shelfong ya ko Mudimo denge nithokoza usomandla mudimo udengo mogolo morena wa barena o khosi ya dikhosi mo lefatsheng le mahodimong ha ona le a tshwana le yena ke fela ka re no bua le maka. These people praise me with their lips but their hearts are far from me. This guy talking agrecha phumane sontweni make like that guy that I described Uzama. At least yena manga ngafuni sonto. He made it clear ukuthi Grandpa hate Christianity. How about you do that? He's in a better position than all of y'all. Obeter ha busy ni nanta blomile kereke ka pizza msalwane nyaya wa lawyer fair sure fair enough. Mara at least bounce up and down. He's on a beach ball on a good hot summer day. Go beaching. Swimana na rocky whaley. And rocky little what is this Nemo? Go get again. Yeah, no. How about you go and join Zama? Do that. Zama joining Eric Benet and his hatred of Christianity. Because he's in a far better position spiritually, eternally than you ever can be. Oh, and then act like you got couth. Act like you're a kissable woman. I just feel like stopping. Cease and desist. This rubbish that you did to me. I'm sorry, ladies. Sisters, good clear. Confused mom. It's just that unfortunately, situation confess because they will make you uncomfortable, but it is so clear that your disgrace is literally gawking at you indeed. The Lord says, commit your ways to me and I will do this. I will make your righteousness shine like the dawn and the justice of your cause like the noonday sun. Let's move to the next part. I had to rant.